Gabby Jennings, who's in her first full year as a pro out of Slidell, Louisiana, and Furman was 7th at NCAA Outdoors last year. And then Tori Gerlach, the veteran 27-year-old out of Penn State, an NCAA third-place finisher when she ran at Penn State, an Olympic trials qualifier last year. There is no designed rabbit here, so it'll be interesting, Lara, to see if the pacing load is shared early in this race, because again, this is an event where, sure, there is prize money on the line, and you want to win, but times are the most important thing to come out of this, so do you get some teamwork here amongst these 8 women?
Well, yeah, you got to keep it honest. You absolutely want this to be an honest pace. Katie RAINSBERGER has run in the low 930s, so well capable of eclipsing what she would need for that standard. And in talking this week with Joe Bossard, he said that the steeplechase has really reignited Katie's passion on the track, her passion for racing. She was, of course, a high school phenom, a multiple-time NCAA All-American in her collegiate career, and now he said she's finding her footing as a pro, and she can really be a beautiful steeplechaser at this level. And it's good for her because the steeple's not necessarily anything that she can compare to the races that she has had great success with or has run more over the course of her career. And going to be great to see her working alongside Gabby Jennings as well. Joe Bossard described them as the rookies, and they just did, as they go over that water jump, just a few days ago, within the past week, were their first water jumps that they've gotten into coming off their training in Colorado for the last few weeks. So he said that what they focus on more at this point of the season than that steeple technique is being the fastest between the barriers. So you're seeing Katie RAINSBERGER use some of that 1,500-meter speed that she has. It's well documented to try to stretch this race out, get up there up front, and try to prove exactly that, how quick she can be between those barriers around the oval.
See 76 seconds on the last lap for RAINSBERGER, CASHIN, and FURLAN, the top 3 with Tori Gerlach just behind. Amy CASHIN was the Aussie champ ahead of Brielle ERBACHER this year. CASHIN had a great career at West Virginia as well, 3-time Big 12 runner-up at West Virginia before spending a lot of her time now back in Australia, where she's had that good national success, now looking to have that success on an international level. With that Aussie championship, now she just needs to chase the standard over the next couple of months to secure her spot at the World Championship. Her best all-time 9:28.60, but it was run earlier last year before that June 27th start of the window, which is why she's hunting a sub-9:30 time again this year.
And she's been on the right track. ERBACHER in her last 4 outings, 9:48, 9:39, 9:38, 9:32. So very steady incremental improvements over the course of the outdoor season. They've been running 76s. They've been very even, so that's right around that 9:30 pace. So they cannot fall off this pace. If anything, they're going to need to stay really consistent or even just quicken things over the middle portion of the 3,000-meter distance.
The 77-second lap that time around. RAINSBERGER still doing the leading ahead of CASHIN and Tori Gerlach. 7 of the 8 women still attached. Only Jessica SCHERIFF has fallen off the pace a bit. The other 7 all still together here. But it is RAINSBERGER who has done the entirety of the work here. Comes from a great running family. Her mom, Lisa Larson-Whitentach, a winner of the Boston and Chicago marathons. And now RAINSBERGER finding her way as a pro. Yamanaka now moving up to the outside, tucked in just behind Tori Gerlach, the 27-year-old out of Pennsylvania. Remember, Gerlach made headlines back in the fall around Thanksgiving. She won a turkey trot race in Phoenix in a 16:19 5K time. Went to grab her award and all of a sudden found out she was disqualified, and it was because the race director there thought that, oh, that's too fast. There's no way any woman ran a 16:19. So Tori Gerlach ended up tweeting about that. It became a big story. And I think next year, if she's back in Phoenix, the race director will know, hey, yes, Tori Gerlach, she can run a sub-16-minute 5K on the road.
Do not underestimate that woman for sure. One thing to note is looking at that last water jump, Rainsberger's looking really smooth on her hurdle form, despite the fact that Joe Bossard said they hadn't done a ton of hurdling yet this outdoor season. She has looked really good. She's doing the workload there up front, leading everyone, allowing everyone to kind of draft off that right-hand shoulder, but she just had a little stutter step there over the hurdle, but through these water jumps, as you see when she approaches the next one coming up, she has looked really good and extended herself. She has that nice long stride. She's extended herself far to the edge of that water jump and going over.
Well, through the first 3.5 laps, they got through at 4:34.19, which means the last 4 laps they need to get through in 4:56 to break 9:30 in the world standard. That would be an average of a 74-second lap. Right now they're on a 76 and 77-second pace. So we'll see if Rainsberger leading the way is able to negative split this race. They are on pace to go sub 9:40, which for a lot of the American women in this field would be an important step, getting them qualified for the U.S. Championship.
Would love to see Jennings get right up there with her teammate and start to push things along and give a little bit of help to Katie Rainsberger at this point.
Moving up there now, Gabby Jennings wearing hip number 8 has moved into a 3rd place spot behind Amy CASHIN in 2nd. It looks like CASHIN maybe wants to pick this pace up a bit. She had a slight acceleration to get up basically shoulder to shoulder with Rainsberger. In the red, Jessica FURLAN's there on the inside. Again, a 2-time Canadian champion. She ran at Nebraska as well and missed 2020 and 2021, but back out and running this season. Got 2.5 laps remaining here, and Rainsberger has led the entirety of the way. The last lap around was also in the 77-second mark, so they continue to be on about 9:40 pace and would need a serious final 1,000 to get under the 9:30 mark.
And for the purpose of positioning, Amy CASHIN, who you pointed out just a moment ago, looks like that she is in great form. She's been very smooth, very relaxed over the course of this race so far. She's a little bit trapped there on that inside rail, so has a bit of work to do if she's going to get up, push the pace, and contend for the victory.
So there's Rainsberger in the front, CASHIN right next to her, and then Gabby Jennings tucking into the 3rd place spot with FURLAN to the inside in the red in 4th. Inside of 2 laps to go. They did pick up the pace last time around, 75 high on that last lap, 75.97 for the leader, Rainsberger. Still need to run those final 2 laps in a really speedy time, about 1:23, so that means you need to see laps in the 61-second range. So don't think that we're going to get there in terms of 9:30, but 9:40 still in play. Yeah.
They have picked it up, 75.97 for that last lap, and you'll have to excuse me, it wasn't CASHIN, it was ERBACHER, who I was pointing to earlier that I was saying looked like on the last lap to be in good position, but was trapped there a little bit on the inside rail. She's kind of trailing that pack at this point with the 7 there on her hip, as you see Katie Rainsberger regain her lead there.
Still Rainsberger, CASHIN, and FURLAN with Jennings behind, coming up on the bell. And we'll need a very quick finish here, but they have picked up the pace enough to at least put a scare into 9:40 for sure, and we'll see about 9:30. Again, looks like 9:30 is going to come and go as they hit 8:21.93, so they'll need to close in 68 seconds to go sub 9:40 for the women who need the U.S. standard, but the 2 American women in this top 4 both have it already. Here goes Amy CASHIN of Australia moving out in front of Rainsberger. So CASHIN sat on Rainsberger for the entirety of the first 6.5, maybe 7 laps, and now she moves in front. So there, we didn't necessarily get what we thought, which would be a helpful changing of the pace and the pacers up front to try and pull this to the fastest race. Instead, Amy CASHIN ran a very smart tactical race behind Rainsberger and now is turning on the jets here down the stretch.
Yeah, look at how much gas she still has in her tank, how she's able to ignite that kick exactly when she needed it. But look at Katie RAINSBERGER. She's closing pretty well. Also, she's going to have to fend off that late push to hold on to second. Really impressed, though, with the close there for Amy CASHIN.
Watch the clock. CASHIN knows she needs 9:30. She almost got there. A 69-second final lap got her 9:31.28. So she does not get 9:30 low, which she needed, but she does set a season's best. All that dash she had left in the tank makes you wonder, Lara, if maybe she misjudged that ever so slightly and could have helped push that race to a sub 9:30 time.
There's that final hurdle, clears the barrier, digging in, takes a quick glance over that left-hand shoulder to be sure she has plenty of daylight. Stretches out that stride to have that type of a closing kick after running 3,000 meters, almost 3,000 meters with the barriers, with the water jump. Really impressive. And that's a great indication of what she's capable of for the rest of the outdoor season. She's going to feel really strong about where she is. A number of season bests there in that field. You see 3 different season bests
And a good
those 7.
Good time for RAINSBERGER, 9:33.23 coming this early in the year for second. FURLAN third. Jennings also goes sub 9:40.